New at noon, Bradley International Airport in Connecticut is now offering Clear Pods, which will serve as authorized enrollment and renewal locations for TSA PreCheck. Travelers can start the TSA PreCheck application process online and then complete the enrollment and verification process with a Clear ambassador at the airport inside the terminal near the main TSA security checkpoint. No appointment is needed, and enrollment through Clear is available daily from 4 a.m. through 7:30 p.m.